Are you planning a trip to Denali in Alaska? Famous for its scenery, wildlife, and year-round outdoor activities, Denali is often the highlight of an Alaska adventure. In this video, I'll show you the top activities that made our trip unforgettable. Let's get started. Hi fellow travelers, this is Ken from Ken Travel 360, coming to you from Denali Princess Lodge again. Denali Princess Wilderness Lodge is owned by Princess Cruises, and while many guests are part of their cruise tour packages, the lodge is open to everyone. We are actually cruising with them later on this trip, but we aren't on their cruise tour. For now, we're traveling independently to keep our schedule flexible. I'll be doing a walkthrough and review video of the resort soon. But the best thing about this lodge is its unbeatable location, right outside the national park. Frequent shuttles take you into the park, and all excursions either pick you up here or start right from the lodge. Now on their website or at the tour desk at the resort, you'll find a wide range of activities to choose from. I'll be sharing our experiences with some of the best ones. Now, let's pick up the story just before our first activity. This evening, we've got a very special activity booked. We are going on a backcountry side-by-side ATV tour. We've done ATV before, but never with a side-by-side. With a roof protecting the occupants from the elements, this will allow for a different and potentially more exciting adventure. So let's go! We are gonna dive right into the action. As we go along, I'll give you more details about the tour. Our excursion is hosted by Black Diamond, a resort that offers a variety of tours in the area. We were picked up at Denali Princess Lodge along with a dozen or so other guests, but it turned out that we were the only ones doing the side-by-side ATV tour. Most other people opted for the more relaxed horse-drawn covered wagon tour. For the ATV tours, they have both the classic ATVs or side-by-side vehicles. Since we have done the classic ATVs in various places before, we decided to switch things up and try the side-by-side. By the way, you can book all these tours with dining included, which I do recommend, but more on that later. Before hitting the trails, we went through a safety training session. We learned to repeat hand signals to the vehicle behind us, and of course, we were fitted with a helmet. As we zoomed through the Alaskan wilderness, I couldn't help but feel a rush of adrenaline. The scenery was absolutely breathtaking. Right, we have got to the top. From the Black Diamond Peak, we had a breathtaking panoramic view of the entire hilly valley and the Dry Creek riverbed. It's truly awe-inspiring. We also had the chance to swap drivers during our stops, so I got to get behind the wheel and experience the thrill of navigating the rugged terrain firsthand. Now obviously, I couldn't film while driving, but I'll never forget the adrenaline rush as we went up and down the hills. But my favorite part had to be driving through the deeper river streams. The water splashed over the sides with the engine roaring. It was such an exhilarating experience. Finally, it's time for dinner. We stopped at the campsite, where we were served a hearty family-style meal. The spread included ribs, meats, salad, side dishes, and desserts. While the portions felt a bit rationed, it was just enough since some other guests opted not to eat. Anyway, the meal was satisfying overall. Afterwards, we made one more stop by a nearby river, where we took some photos before heading back to Black Diamond. We were then transferred back to our lodge. The excursion cost around $150 per person, and we felt it was good value for the experience. We had an amazing time with so much fun, and I would definitely recommend it. Our next activity is a very popular one, and the best part is that it's completely free. It's the sled dog demonstrations run by the National Park Service. From our lodge, we took a shuttle to the visitor center. During peak season, the program runs 3 times a day, with 3 buses departing the visitor center about 40 minutes before each demonstration. Before the main event, you can stroll around the kennel and get an up-close look at the Alaskan Huskies. Then, everyone moves to the stage for the presentation. Honestly though, we're a bit disappointed. The ranger talk took up most of the time, and there were only about a minute of actual sledding demonstration. While this activity is free, if you're short on time, you might want to skip the presentation and just visit the kennel. For us, having done the husky sledding in Finnish Lapland, where we got to drive through snow-covered trails and really connect with the huskies, this just didn't hit the mark. If you're interested, check out the video link above to see our husky ride tours in Finland. Having said that, if you have never seen anything like this before, then it's a good introduction. Now, for many people, the main reason to visit Denali is to explore the national park, take in the stunning landscapes, and hopefully spot some wildlife, perhaps a bear or 2, and maybe some caribou or moose. The easiest way to do this is to join one of the park's bus tours. There are 2 main options, the Denali Natural History Tour and the Tundra Wilderness Tour. If you're staying at Denali Princess Lodge, you can book these tours right at the lodge, and they'll start the tour from there. Otherwise, the tours begin at the bus depot. The resort provides a shuttle service to Denali National Park, and it makes 3 stops: the bus depot, the Horseshoe Lake Trail, and finally the visitor center. The Natural History Tour focuses on the park's natural and cultural history, taking you only as far as mile 17. The highlights include a historic cabin and an Alaska native presentation. However, this tour isn't ideal if you're hoping to see wildlife. At $116 per person, it's not only expensive, but it also uses up your precious time in Denali that could be better spent on other activities. The Tundra Wilderness Tour, on the other hand, goes up to mile 43, currently the furthest you can go into the park. A guide will help you spot wildlife like moose and bears along the way, making it a much better option for experiencing Denali National Park. It costs $144 per person, but it's still very popular and sometimes it sells out. If that happens, or if you are looking for a more budget-friendly way to do pretty much the same thing, you can do what we did and explore the park with a transit bus for just $34. There's no onboard guide, but the bus drivers are excellent at spotting wildlife. They'll stop whenever something interesting is seen, so everyone can take photos. For the transit buses, they also go all the way to mile 43, just like the Tundra's Wilderness Tour. But you've got the chance to hop off the bus at any time. You can then try to hail a later one to get back on. However, make sure you reserve this early. The morning services are incredibly popular and sell out fast. We didn't, and when we arrived here at 9:45 a.m., we only managed to get the shuttle tickets at noon. And they were the last 2 tickets. Our bus tour turned out to be better than I imagined. We were initially somewhat skeptical about how much wildlife we'd actually see, and whether a 4 or 5 hour bus trip would be worth it. But we didn't need to worry, as we ended up hitting the Grand Slam of Alaska's Big 4. We were lucky enough to spot several moose throughout the tour. Their towering antlers and calm demeanor were a sight to behold. We also encountered quite a few caribou, gracefully moving across the landscape. Watching them roam the vast open landscape was a reminder of just how wild and untouched this part of the world is. Now, when it came to bears, we had to be a bit more patient. Everyone's eyes were scanning the horizon. The anticipation built with each mile, and just when I was starting to think we might not see one, there it was, a bear slowly making its way up a distant hillside. Even though it was far away, the entire bus quietly erupted in excitement. And of course, we also spotted Dow's sheep, completing the big four. Beyond that, we saw ptarmigan, which was pronounced with a silent P as our driver informed us. We also got to enjoy a short walk at mile 43, the turnaround point, which was a nice chance to stretch our legs and take in the scenery. Overall, I felt the transit bus was an excellent value, offering a similar experience to the Tundra Wilderness Tour, but at a fraction of the cost, around $100 less. And just as well that we saved some money here, because the next excursion that I'm gonna tell you about was the most expensive one we've ever done. If you've been enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel with notifications enabled. That way, you'll be notified when I release new videos. For our last, but certainly not least, excursion, especially in terms of cost, we took a helicopter tour with a Glacier Landing. This excursion cost a whopping $595 per person, but it was a thrilling ride over the rugged Alaska range. The main highlight of this excursion was a landing on the remote Yanet Glacier. I've covered the full experience in another video, so why don't you watch that next? See you over there.